QueenCityPodcastNetwork.com.
Yo, what's cracking, man? What's good? It's Rashad, one half of the Panther Nation podcast. And man, this is a little lunchtime link. Grab yourself some lunch. Check out, if you should take your lunch break, pull up, see what we talking about, man. And I had to go live. I wanted to go live yesterday. Didn't have the time to go live to talk about the training camp schedule. Now, I know on the Tuesday show, we said, man, it's a lot of questions that we have regarding training camp. A lot of questions. We didn't know what was going on. But the Panthers have done a great job by answering a lot of our questions. And we're going to go through a lot of those questions and those answers today. Okay. So hang tight. And I mean hang tight, and we're gonna get right to the stuff, okay, and talk about what's going on. All right, so training camp schedule was released. A lot of interesting little tidbits. I'm gonna pull the schedule up in just a second, and we're gonna walk through it, talk about some things, and give our opinion and thought. I think it's really good for Carolina Panthers to have this back in Charlotte, or not back, but because it never was in Charlotte. But it's great to host training camp in Charlotte. And I know I was on the Rob Brown show earlier today, and a lot of folks in South Carolina may feel a type of way. In fact, I question, and if you're in South Carolina, I want to know. I want to know what you think. If you live in South Carolina, and you specifically Spartanburg, and you're kind of peed off that the Panthers have taken away training camp, because Rob was right. He talked about on the show this morning. Shout out to Rob Brown, the Rob Brown show. He talked about the the economic impact, because a lot of the businesses in Spartanburg, bro, they rely on that income and rely on that training camp money, because it may help them fund their entire year. Their entire year may be centered around training camp, and now that's no longer there. Okay, and so if you're in South Carolina and you ain't really feeling the move, and you don't think the FanFest olive branch is enough, then let me know. I want to see what your thoughts. I want to see what your thoughts are on that, because I know that sucks. A lot of people are are pissed off, and rightfully so, right? But a lot of people may say, hey, just go ahead and rename the team, the Charlotte, or the Charlotte Panthers, or the North Carolina Panthers, because the olive branch to just have FanFest in South Carolina just ain't enough. When you got the whole season, and now you got training camp, and now everything, the headquarters is basically going to be in Charlotte. You know what I mean? So why not just go ahead and name the team the Charlotte Panthers? Now, for me, I'm not opposed to any of these moves. I'm not matter of fact, I clap it up for Tepper for bringing training camp to Charlotte. I love it. I absolutely love it. And I can't complain one bit. But again, I understand. I can put myself in the shoes of a Spartanburg resident, and I can understand how they'd be quite peed off. So and like Carlos said, you can't please everybody. Completely is right. He is completely correct. You can't please everybody. Somebody's gonna be mad in this instance, and obviously, there's probably gonna be a lot of people happy, but there's quite a bit of the fan base that is gonna be perturbed that has now been moved from Spartanburg. But anyway, I digress. Let me go ahead and pull this up, and let's talk about training camp and kind of walk through these dates and what training camp is gonna look like, because we finally got the full schedule. I know the NFL kind of released a good bit of they released the starting dates of training camp, but they didn't go through the entire training camp schedule. And now the Carolina Panthers has just released that as of yesterday. So let me pull this up and let's talk about it. 1 second, y'all. All right, so here is the training camp schedule. Okay. As you can see, training camp is going to start on July 24th. July 24th, 25th, and 27th. They're going to have the Back Together Again Saturday event, which is going to be hosted at Clemson at Death Valley, which is interesting, a little reminiscent, because obviously the Carolina Panthers had their first, home games there as the stadium was opening back in '95. They played their first games in Death Valley in Clemson, and so it's a little bit of full circle moment. We had a couple of full circle moments last year, and Frank Reich, Dom Capers, those guys. That wasn't quite the moment we were looking for. Obviously, Frank Reich gets fired after a few games into the season, and and they're still trying to bring us nostalgia back to Carolina, and now hosting this thing in Death Valley is another addition to that fact. Okay. I think it's interesting. Initially the thought process was that that was going to be hosted in Columbia, South Carolina, and at USC. And I like my man Rob Brown from the Rob Brown Show did say, he stated that there's going to be a soccer game, an international soccer game, going to be hosted at Columbia. And they need that grass pristine. Okay, they don't want to end up having to do double work on the grass. We all know about that. We know how those international soccer games are, and so oh, I'm sorry, my bad. FanFest is on. My bad. You're right. Shout out to Cheryl Lynn. My bad. FanFest is on the first. My bad. I misspoke. Back Together Again is at the bank. My bad. My apologies. I misspoke on that. But going back to the FanFest in Charlotte versus Williams-Brice in Columbia, there's going to be a soccer match, an international soccer match, and that obviously they want to make sure that the grass is pristine there. They don't want to mess up the grass, and we know about that because we know that David Tepper will import and replace the entire stadium's grass, the artificial turf, for natural grass for international games at Bank of America Stadium. So we know how they feel about that grass. They want the soccer teams need that grass to be pristine, and I'm sure that Williams-Brice and the good folks at USC didn't want to do double work. So they said, maybe it's not cool that we host this at USC. Y'all can go to Clemson this year and maybe next year. And I think that's what you're gonna see in this first year. They're gonna have it at Clemson FanFest, okay, but then they're gonna move it to different stadiums across South Carolina. That's what I think is gonna happen, and I believe that is an olive branch that that the Teppers are going to give to South Carolina to say, all right, we still 2 states, 1 team. How do you feel about that? I don't know if that's enough, but I think that's what you're going to get basically from the Teppers and the Carolina Panthers. South Carolina, it just kind of is what it is. And shout out to South Carolina. But, I'm okay with this. I'm going to be honest. I got to be honest, got to be blunt. I'm okay with this as someone that lives in Charlotte or close to Charlotte, not quite Charlotte. My bad. So again, shout out to Cheryl. She corrected me. The 27th is the Back Together Again Saturday, which is typically where they have percussion and all these other folks come out, and it's kind of a little bit of a party. I don't know what I think it's going to be at the stadium. Yes, it's at Bank of America Stadium, so that's going to be like a fan fest. They're going to have Top Cats, percussion, Black and Blue Crew, Sir Per. That's going to be cool. It's going to be like a fan fest again. Not quite fan fest. So if you're looking for that fan fest experience, that's kind of what you're going to be looking for. That's going to be hosted by the fan fest itself is going to be on the 1st. So FanFest itself, August 1st, that's going to be in Clemson. And I see a couple of questions. These are great questions. Can you meet the players at FanFest, and what takes place at FanFest? Well, typically when it's at Bank of America Stadium, it's basically the same as the Back Together Again Saturday. You have percussion. You have the Top Cats. You have the mayor come out. You'll have a bunch of guests come out, and it's usually televised, right? And they'll go through a practice, and then at the end of that practice, they'll have like a big light show. It's basically a glorified training camp practice, but it's hosted at the stadium. Do you get to meet players? No. Last year, I don't think hardly any of the players signed anything at FanFest. It is what it is. Not complaining at all. I'm just answering the question. So can you meet players at FanFest? I highly doubt it. Now, things may change. Again, this is all new to everybody. Having it at Clemson may change things. Maybe they will have a meet and greet. I don't know. Nobody knows what's going to happen. But I can only go by the past, what they've done in the past, and just only make a few assumptions. Maybe they have some stuff for fans to meet the players, maybe not. But typically at FanFest, there is no meeting the players at FanFest. Let's see. Let me just read some of these chats. So yeah, if you got any questions, I'll try to address them in the chat whenever I can. Okay. So FanFest again, FanFest full circle moment, having that joint at Clemson University. Okay. So if you want to get tickets to that, tickets will be available on June 21st. Ticketmaster, and up to 8 tickets can be available per the Panthers and Ticketmaster account. So per account, you can get 8 tickets. Okay, so you might want to jump on that if you're looking to go to Clemson. Check that out and have fun there. So, let's see here. Back together again Saturday. Okay, so let me just come back here. Here we go. All right, so FanFest, $5 tickets. Again, that's nothing new. Memorial Stadium, Clemson University. Gates are going to open at 5 o'clock. $5 mobile tickets, only mobile tickets only. Stadium concessions and beverages will be available to purchase. You'll get live practices. Okay, you'll watch the Panthers live at Clemson's Memorial Stadium as they run through drills, scrimmage, and on the playing field. There'll be fireworks at the end of the night. They'll have a fireworks show. You also see appearances by Sir Per, Top Cats Percussion, Black and Blue Crew. So basically the same thing as that Back Together Again Saturday thing, a Back Together Again football thing. So $5 again. They're donating that money to a charity, so that is fire. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, so that is FanFest, and that's the Back Together Again Saturday. Again, check that out. It's gonna be dope. Let me just go to this. So again, practices start early. So I do like that. You got some early practices, 9:30 on the 24th, 9:30 on the 25th, 9:30 on the 27th, 9:30. So all early morning practices. They got one late practice on the 3rd, which starts at 11:10. And then obviously FanFest is going to start at 6:30. Doors are going to open at 5. And I love these early practices. Love these early practices, bro. Oh man, I don't know why y'all saying I got a robot voice. I'm not sure. My man said my audio is cracking. My bad. My bad. Hold on. They say I got some static. My bad, dog. Y'all give me 1 second. Let me see if I can fix it. My bad. I ain't seeing it. My bad. My bad, dog. My bad. What was the last thing y'all heard clear? I'm checking y'all. I got y'all. I forgot when I plug the mic back in, it starts muted. My bad. What was the last thing y'all heard clear? Said I pulled academics. That's funny. Okay. So let me go back. Let me go back. Hold on, let me see when all right. Okay. All right. I'm just going back to check to see the last thing y'all heard. So they said fireworks. Okay, fireworks. My bad. Okay. So let me go back. Again, go back to FanFest. I didn't even get to the best part yet, so we didn't miss anything. My bad. All right, so let's quickly go back to FanFest. Let me just recap FanFest again, and then I'll move on. All right, so FanFest again, they're going to be tickets available for FanFest, $5. They'll have fireworks. They'll have all that good stuff. And will you have the opportunity to meet players? I doubt it. I do see that one time DJ Moore did jump in the stands to break up a fight, but yes, I'd highly doubt that folks are going to be meeting the Panthers. That's just my personal opinion. Um, I don't know that, but I can't guarantee that there'll be an opportunity for folks um, to meet the players. I know PSL during training camp they do have a PSL practice where folks can go out there and get autographs signed. That's actually where the thumbnail of this video was that PSL practice, and that typically happens around training camp as well. So if you're a PSL owner, you might have that opportunity to meet the players. If not, you just had to get lucky and be out there at the training camp practices. So again, going back to FanFest, FanFest is going to be on Thursday, August 1st, Memorial Stadium, Clemson, 5:30 p.m. Gates will open, $5 tickets, mobile tickets only. They will have stadium concessions and beverages, all that good stuff. And again, they're going to donate the money of the that is collected for ticket sales to a charity. Live practice, you'll watch the Panthers, and they'll run through some drills, you get fireworks, entertainment, performances, all that good stuff. So let me just go back through that. My man said Rashad AI is still better than other hosts for real. I don't know, man. My bad. My bad. Sheesh. All right. He says, will there be a PMP meet and greet? I'll come back to that. I'll come back to that 1 second. CJ Tab says, I've been trying to catch you live. I'm starting a new train. I think TMJ makes the team. Sorry, I know it's off topic. Now I appreciate the super chat. We got to find another method. If you're going with the train, that might be applicable to TMJ. And typically the trains have derailed based on my past experience. My trains have derailed. So I think you picked an appropriate method of transportation for TMJ. I'm not trying to be funny, but I don't. My hopes for TMJ are really. Again, no, there is my record and where I stand with TMJ is very clear. I believe he has all the talent in the world. Trust me. I definitely love TMJ. I love TMJ. I think he's got shafted. Okay. But I just don't think the fit. We've drafted 2 more wide receivers. We brought in all these wide receiver talent. I just don't think it's going to happen, bro. I think he's on his way out. That's just my personal opinion. A Cash says, Shad don't do trains anymore. He's driving a bus. Yes, another method of transportation. Another method of transportation for sure. But I'm with y'all. I support TMJ. I'm just using my context clues, and that's just kind of what I believe, man. I love TMJ. I think he has all the talent in the world, but I just don't think it's going to happen, bro. I just don't think it's going to happen. Caleb says, love the channel, bro. Y'all should collaborate with Shelatron. I'm not sure what Shelatron is. Is he still putting out content? He's covered the Panthers for the longest. That's not true. We were around before Shelatron, respectfully. But even before us, you got C3 and you got Pat Coltrane. Those are the OGs. So if you're gonna say who was being around, it's been around the longest, you got to put some respect on the OGs. That's gonna be C3 and that's gonna be Pat Coltrane. Shout out to those. Those guys are the OGs for real. Okay. All right, so let me go through the rest of the schedule. Let me go through the rest of the schedules. One thing I did notice is that there aren't too many. Let me double check. Let me check the dates because I don't think there's any like Friday practices. All these practices are on like Tuesdays and Thursdays, which is very interesting. I thought that was very interesting. Typically they have practices like every day, but that does not appear to be the case. They kind of switched it up a little bit, which I don't have a problem with that. So you got Wednesday, Thursday, Saturdays, Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays. So no Wednesday or Friday practices for the most part, except for one at the end. And they do have a joint practice with the New York Jets. One practice. Typically, it's 2. Typically, It's 2 practices that they'll have, but this year's only 1 practice that they'll have August 15th. That's going to be on a Thursday. And we're looking at having, and somebody asked, Deontay asked, well, we're gonna have a PMP meet and greet. I'm looking at having a live show in collaboration with Sheena Quick, Vash Ty, and my man Carla, who y'all saw on the show on Tuesday. We are looking to have a joint show. We're trying to find a location. Hot Fly, where we used last year, is not available. But yes, we are going to be looking at having a some sort of meet and greet / live show during training camp. And we're looking at August 15th, or August 16th, excuse me, but that date is to be determined and will largely depend on it'll largely depend on availability of the venues. Where do preseason games fall in connection to that schedule? So that's a great question. I'll pull that up right now. I know the Jets game is on that Saturday. So you got the joint practice on a Thursday, and the Jets game is on that Saturday. That's a great question. Let's kind of overlay that right now and see what that looks like. Great question. So the Patriots game is going to be on the 8th. So you've got August 6th. You got a practice on August 6th, which is a Tuesday. And then we've got a game on Thursday, which is the first game against the Patriots. So that's the week 1 game on the road. So you got some travel time built in. Then you come right back after that game and have practice on a Saturday. You have practice on Saturday, Sunday, Monday. You skip Tuesday. And then you got practice on Wednesday. Then you got the joint practices on Thursday. You skip Friday. That's going to be our live show, hopefully, on Thursday. And then on the 17th, you got a game against the Jets at 7 o'clock p.m. And then after that, there's no more practices, but you have another week 3 preseason game on the 24th against the Buffalo Bills on the road. So that's kind of how it overlays versus the preseason schedule. Great question. My man said the streets are saying we might release Chuba. I don't think that's the guy you want to release, but if I don't know that. I don't know about that. I haven't heard that. I don't know what side streets you on or listening to, but I have not heard that. I have not heard that. The streets I listening to be the main highways. I'm on like 77 to 85. I don't know. You sound like you got some Betty Ford street tea. I don't know about that one, bro. I don't know what that is. I have not heard that. You the first one that brought that. Now, if you right, then we might need to kind of find out where that tea coming from. But I don't think they're gonna cut Chuba outright. That's I don't know. I don't know about that one. My man said he on Wilkinson Boulevard. You somewhere, bro. You somewhere. I don't know what streets you talking about. I'm on like Tryon, Independence. Those typically the streets I be listening to. Yeah, I mean. But anyway, all right. So here's the most important question. My man said he on Sugar Creek. All right, so here we go. Let's Tuckasegee or something, bro. You wildin'. All right, so so Albemarle. All right, so let's let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. All right. Here's the most interesting piece of the training camp. This is the most interesting piece of the training camp news because it gave us the layout of how these things are going to work for training camp. Now, as you can see, if you're familiar with the layout and you've been down to the practice fields, this should be very familiar with you. Okay, you should be very familiar with this information. Okay, so let me see if I can. So you got Johnson and Wales University right here. Then you got 4th Street, and there's going to be a main. I have not seen this. I have not seen how this connects. I'm gonna have to go by here and see how this connects. But I've been by Johnson and Wales, obviously been over there. But you got 4th Street. Then there's a main entrance going to be here. Then there's going to be the the general admission seating, fan zone, and then there's going to be the side spot for the media. Okay, then there's going to be a VIP entrance. A VIP entrance. Very interesting. Now, if you're looking at this, this is where the new field house is going to be, which is very interesting because I was wondering if they were going to complete all of that construction before training camp, and that appears that that's not going to be the case, which is okay. That's okay. That's why it makes sense. And this is why sometimes you got to be patient and let the news come out. All right, they have a plan, and this looks to be like a solid plan. They're probably gonna put some bleachers out here, right? Now the question is, what's the capacity? Because the tickets are gonna be for free. The tickets are going to be made available for free. However, you've got to claim them. How many tickets are going to be available is the question. Now that this thing is in Charlotte, I anticipate a lot more people are going to try to attend versus when it was in Spartanburg. This ain't Spartanburg, bro. Whereas you had a small community of people of the locals that would attend. Now that it's in Charlotte, bro, a lot of people are going to attend this thing. So you need to if you plan on coming to training camp any day, bro, you better get these tickets and you better get them immediately. Now, I know I got an email. Shout out to the PSL owners. I got an email stating that my tickets are going to be available a bit earlier. So the question is, are the PSL owners going to scoop up all the tickets, right? Are the PSL owners going to scoop up all the tickets, and how many will actually be available for others to get? Because I got to be honest, this ain't a lot of space, and I don't know what this VIP entrance is going to look like. I have no idea. This appears to be that pathway. This is the pathway that they have that connects to Bank of America Stadium, and there's going to be a little bit of a VIP here. I'm sure that's where, especially when it comes to the autographs, this is going to be prime area for autographs, I'm assuming, right? You're going to have to get here early to get some good autograph sections. I don't even know how much. Again, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think the VIP are PSL owners. It just said the PSL owners are going to have the ability to get tickets earlier. That's all I know. That's all I know. Okay. And I got to pull my email up. Let me pull my email up because I give y'all the real. I'm not gonna hold anything behind. So y'all, just so y'all know, because a lot of people be wanting to know, hey, what's the perks? What's the perks for being a PSL owner? Well, this is kind of one of them. Okay, so we'll get access to FanFest. There's a PSL owner pre-sale for FanFest. We get ours a day earlier, and then the PSL pre-sale for training camp also begins a day earlier. So I believe July 9th is the date that the general public can get tickets. We get it a full day earlier. Okay, a full day earlier. So that means I'm almost guaranteed a ticket to every day. And I promise you, these joints are going to sell out. I know they are. I know they're going to sell out. Because I'm going to be honest, this capacity seems like maybe a couple of thousand people, which is no different from what it would be in Spartanburg. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Not saying it's a bad thing at all. But it's you're not going to be able to get everybody in that stadium or in that practice area. Okay? So what I'm saying to y'all is y'all better hop on it on the 9th. If you plan on coming to these practices, you better jump on it soon. So I know I'm getting my tickets to every practice. Every practice. I'm getting my joints to every single practice. So get on it. Get on it. Okay. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be very interesting. I like how we're gonna be using this where the field house is gonna be, so you'll get to see kind of how everything is. Now, here's one thing. I do want to notice, or I do want to take note of. Yes, they are. The tickets to the practices are going to be free. Too busy, yes. The tickets to the practices are going to be free with the exception of FanFest. FanFest, which will be held in Clemson, will be $5. Tickets to FanFest or tickets to general practices are going to be free, but you still need to claim a ticket. They rolled that out a couple of years ago in preparation for this, right? But you have to get a ticket. You got to get on Ticketmaster and claim the tickets. They are free. They are absolutely free, but you got to claim a ticket, which is, again, props to the Panthers because personally, I thought they were going to take the opportunity to charge. I thought they were going to charge for him. So kudos. Again, we like to rag on Tepper. We like to jump on Tepper and call him out when things aren't, when we don't like things. But we have really got to give him props for that. He's not charging. This is going to be a premium ticket. He could have easily charged for this, and he didn't. So kudos to Tepper. Kudos to the Christy Coleman, everybody, all those people involved. They could have charged for this, and they did. So kudos to them. Kudos to them. I got to give them props. I got to be honest with you. See, even Goat on Wheel says it needs to be paid. It's not. It's not. Yeah, I mean, it's a premium ticket. I'm sure he could have charged folks $25, $50 per practice, and people would have paid for that. People would have paid for that. So I give him props. And again, I'll be the first. I'm the first to call Tepper out on the nonsense. But it's been solid, bro. I can't, bro, not even me, not even Panther Nation should be complaining about what's going on right now. We can't complain. This is all good stuff, all positive stuff coming out the Carolina Panthers camp. Okay. So now I do want to point this out. Because this is something that's very interesting. This is very interesting to me. Now, as a long time goer of training camp, I've been to a lot of training camps. I haven't missed a training camp in probably almost 10 years. I've been going to train. I am a training camp guru. I got my PhD in training camp. Okay. I've been to all of them. I've been to, under every regime there is, I've been to a training camp. This is a little different. Okay. This is going to be a little different for us that are typically going to Spartanburg. Okay. Now let's talk about this. This is something that not a lot of people are talking about. The orientation of these fields is different. Let me break that down for y'all. In Spartanburg, we had a clean side view. You had a clean side view right there lined up. For example, if this was Spartanburg, you got two practice fields, the hill would be right here. So you got a clean 100-yard view of the field. Very clean view. Love that field. Love that hill view. Love it. Here, now, the orientation is going to be a lot different. You're going to be sitting on the side watching practice in front of you. So you have an end zone view of practice, which is much different from what we're typically used to seeing. It's going to be, you won't be able to see like the 11 on 11 type drills. Those are going to be, it's going to be difficult, not impossible, because it depends on how high the bleachers go. If the bleachers go high, then we'll be fine. But if they don't go that high, it's going to be difficult to see. Now I'm nitpicking, y'all. I'm nitpicking, but I'm just pointing out a difference. This is going to be a stark difference from what we're used to seeing in Spartanburg. Again, I'm just pointing that out. It's going to be a little different. You're going to see side. You're going to be either seeing behind. You're going to see like a end zone view where you're going to be behind. Or you're going to be face on with the offense, or you're going to be looking at the defense, the backside of the defense, the backside of the offense. So it's going to be a little different. A little different. This VIP entrance, a VIP area, different as well. They've had a VIP situation. This seems like a large VIP situation. Don't really know about that. but it's gonna be different. There is gonna be the media has the best side view that there's gonna be, but it kind of is what it is. You got to take what you can get at this point. Take what you can get. So I just thought that was very interesting observation. Um, with the orientation of the fields. Let me see if I can get a Google view of the. I don't know if Google has updated since the construction of the practice fields have been going on. Go to. All right. So let me just check this out real quick because I want to see something. I got to see what this is looking like here. Get the different view. Nah, they still got the kind of old view. It's kind of the old view. They got a parking lot. That's going to be the VIP area, that parking lot. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Going to be interesting to see. Very interesting to see what's going to happen at training camp this year. This is a great question. Where do you expect the Panthers to hide players in this setup? As you know, SC they used to have players on the far field so no one could really see. I don't. Yeah, there's no hiding because you got views that now that's a positive. You got views of both fields. So if it's me, I'm going to try to get a seat. You still kind of want to get close to wherever they're going to be running 11 on 11s. And if you're a training camp vet like myself, you know that they alternated fields. I guess to kind of rough up each field, you don't want to put too much wear and tear on one field. So they will alternate fields for the 11 on 11. So you will want to know which side they're running 11 on 11s or which fields are running 11 on 11s. And usually that alternated. Yeah, so this is a great question, SC Bass. So he says, how many total seats are there going to be? 3,000? I don't know. I say no. I say no more than 4,000 max between the VIP area and the seating area. I say no more than 4,000, and that's pushing it, bruh. That is pushing it. That's pushing it. It's gonna be interesting, bruh. It's gonna be interesting to see how many people can get in there. All the tickets gonna sell out. Because I don't think they did that last year. And again, I think that's why they were having the dry runs of the tickets over the past couple of years to see how many people were coming. The problem with that is that was Spartanburg. This is now Charlotte. There's gonna be a lot more people coming to training camp than it was in Spartanburg. Do you think it's Oh, bro, I got you. I had to really slow down and read this one, but I think I got you, Jen. It says, "Do you think it's worth the drive to Clemson for FanFest or this back together thing since they're the same essentially?" Um, yeah, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. I would hit the get back together again thing and kind of skip out on FanFest. That's just me personally. This is just me personally. I would skip out on and I'm probably not gonna go to FanFest. I'm just gonna be completely honest. Unless I got something else going on, I'm probably not gonna go to FanFest. That Clemson drive is quite far. That's almost I might as well go to Atlanta if I'm gonna go to Clemson. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna do that. I might let the South Carolina folks have that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't. I'm probably gonna get tickets, but I can't promise that I'm gonna go to FanFest. I don't know yet. I don't know, but I might need to pull up to holler at my folks in South Carolina. I can't do y'all dirty like that. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. That's a great question though. I was processing that as I was reading the differences between the back together again thing and FanFest. They're essentially the same thing. It's basically going to be the same thing. The only difference you're going to get is probably fireworks. You're getting fireworks at FanFest. That's pretty much going to be the major difference, if I'm being honest. And I think that move for FanFest is really to extend the olive branch to folks in South Carolina to have those local folks pull up. That's really the only difference. Um, I wonder, is there any covered shaded area? Because in practice, them early practices will be hot. Yes, that's a great observation. There was no really shaded area in Spartanburg though, so they had the tent up top for folks that were had disabilities and stuff, but for the most part, that thing was not shaded. There was no trees out. There's like one or two trees up in Spartanburg too, so there it wasn't much shade in Spartanburg. So there won't be that big of a difference, to be honest. But it would be cool if they did have some a shaded area, but I don't expect it, to be honest with you. Can PNP ever get media passes? Largest independent podcast should come with some perks. Joel, actually we've been offered media passes. We have been offered media passes. Um, Shout out to the good folks at the Carolina Panthers. We have been offered them, but I don't want them. I feel like it comes with a certain level of um big brother, if that makes sense. Hey, y'all can't do this, you can't do that, you can't post this, don't do this, don't do that. And respectfully, I don't want to fall in those lines. I like my lane. In the lane I'm in, I've been able to accomplish just about everything I've wanted to accomplish. Um, I've been able to get access to players. I've had to work hard for it, and it ain't easy. It's probably a lot easier to get them with the interviews and stuff with the media passes. But I'll pass on that. I'm cool. I don't want what comes with it, to be honest with you. But we connected. We're so connected with folks that have them. Like we're connected with Vashti from Carolina Blitz, who we can shoot our questions through. If we really wanted to get a question answered, and shout out to Vashti and Sheena, their ears be to the streets, so they know what's going on. If we ever really needed something, I'm sure they will look out. And shout out to my man Chris from Charlotte Vibe, who also credential media. We good. We good, bruh. We good. But shout out to them, man. Shout out to them. But this is for me. I'm cool on that. I'm cool on that. But good question. Great question. I get asked that question often. Is PNP ever gonna get um, and listen, I want to say this too. I want to say shout out to all of us independent creators. Shout out to all the independent YouTubers, myself, Dunk, because Dunk got the shout out on the Panthers blueprint. He got his voice, take a shot. That's dope, bro. That's fire. Kudos to Dunk, man. Shout out to Dunk for that. Shout out to all the other independent creators, because now the respect is starting to be put on our product. Yeah, I mean, we not just random YouTubers. We have fun too. We have a place in this, and you might not like what we say all the time. You might not like what we say, but that's dope. Like we respect our platforms. We put a lot of time and effort into this. This is not a game to us. We take it seriously. Big Cat, all of us, C3, all of us, man. We put a lot of work into this, bro. Yeah, I mean, it takes a lot of effort, and I feel like slowly but surely, we are going to get um we're going to get respected, and we're going to get acknowledged by the Carolina Panthers slowly but surely, because guess what? Kai Sinat, all the streamers, the YouTubers, all that stuff, bro, that wave is going to push its way into sports. It already has. It already has. And it'll keep doing that. It'll keep doing that. Shout out to guys like Steve Smith Sr., who have put a spotlight on us. You know what I mean? You got radio stations that come out there and talk to folks like myself. You know what I mean? We have a lane, bro. And it's taken the NFL a long time to get here, but eventually we're going to be the move. And that's all due respect to credential media. That's all due respect to the traditional, the Charlotte Observer and the Athletic and all. That's cool. But bro, that's not gonna be the move in the next 5-10 years. That's not gonna be the move. Nobody's gonna be doing that in the next 5 to 10 years. That ain't the move. That's just my personal opinion. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Cam, like all this. Look at what Cam is doing. Cam and his platform. Like all these players are now creating their own platforms. Bro, nobody needs ESPN. Nobody needs these big guys to acknowledge our bro. We out here cooking. We good. Shout out to JJ, man. Lakers coach. Again, he had his own media. You know what I mean? So again, my bad. I know we got sidetracked with the training camp conversations. That's my fault. That's my bad. I know we got sidetracked, but that was a great question and great conversations, man. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to all the content creators out there. Um, let's see. Yeah, so I think we've gone over most of the stuff. Again, this is gonna be very interesting. Make sure y'all get y'all tickets if y'all here locally in Charlotte. Don't get caught slipping on the 9th. When that ticket drops, you better be on there. And I hope it ain't like last year. Last year you had to buy a ticket. You had to claim a ticket for each day. Every day you had to go in and get a ticket. Every day you had to go in and get a ticket. You had to claim a ticket for each day. I don't know if that's going to be the case. I don't know how it's going to work, but be prepared. It was very tedious process to get tickets last year. And I think they do that on purpose to discourage folks from claiming all the tickets for every day. Because if I had an opportunity to go in and just click a ticket for each day, it's gonna make it very easy. If you break it up and do it one by one, it makes it harder for everybody to go out there and claim all the tickets. But I'm gonna be honest with you. If I got to do it one by one, I'm gonna do it. All right. So let me see if I answered any other question, anything I missed regarding training camp and the practices that are going to be occurring. Uh, oh, so you could get up to 4 tickets for each practice. Man, them things are gonna get ate up. Woo wee, them things are gonna get snatched. The tickets for the event for this is for the back together again. The back together again event will go available on July 9th, and that's for all the practices. And fans can secure up to 4 tickets, 4 free tickets for each of the open practices. And for the Bank of America Stadium back together again event, you can get up to 8. Bro, that's a lot. 4 tickets per person. Them things are gonna get snatched immediately. Immediately. Great question. Why did not just use the bank for training camp? Because I think a large part of that is because it's only one field. Like you need multiple fields to break everything up. It's difficult to condense your practices into one field. I've seen it. It's kind of scattered. And you need your kickers. The kickers got to kick. It's a lot. It's very difficult to run your practice on one field. They do it for back together again. They're gonna do it for FanFest. But I think if they had their preference, they would have multiple fields. Eddie says, any thoughts on Adam Thielen interview talking about OTAs minicamp should roll into training camp basically July 1st to start the season? I I didn't watch the interview, so I don't have the context, but I actually agree with what he's saying here because you get that break, like that break between now and training camp, bro. Like that's a lot of time off when you could just who like folks get derailed. They may not be taking care of their bodies. They go on vacations. Like, why not just give me a break after the season? Let me do all my OTAs, mini camps, all that stuff, and just roll straight into training camp and just have one large off season. I think it makes sense. And as someone that has been around, he's been around the league for a long time. I can't say I disagree. I think that makes sense. I think it makes sense. I also heard him talking about how Bryce. I don't know if it's the same interview, but he was talking about how Bryce is getting better, and how they have more of a connection now. Now that they've had a full off season and Bryce starting to come into his own. So I do agree with a lot of what Adam Thielen said. Shout out to Adam Thielen, man. Yeah, man. So this is good stuff. I'm excited. Any other questions or comments for training camp? Cause I didn't expect being up here for an hour. I sacrificed my lunch for y'all. I did a lunchtime link for y'all, but I didn't even eat my own lunch. So I gotta go eat. I'm starving actually. Yeah. I saw some clips from it. I didn't watch the whole thing. But I did see some clips. Yep. Any other questions, comments, concerns before I get up out of here? Do I know how training camp parking will look? This is a great question because there is no parking around this. Not for thousands of people. There ain't no parking, bro. You're gonna be on your own. There's some parking lots across the street. You'll have to pay. You'll probably have to pay. Like I would say, y'all can see. Can y'all see? Oh, here's my mouse. Here we go. So there's some parking like over here, like down. It's not right here, but down this street, there's a parking lot, and then across across the train tracks, there's another parking deck by Bank of America Stadium. There's the Honeywell building. There's parking available, but there is no park. That's a great question. There's really no good parking around here, bro. That's a fantastic question. You gonna have to pay for parking every day, essentially. Because there's a parking lot right here. I keep going to the wrong. There's a parking lot like right over here, but that's for the there's a restaurant and a couple other businesses over there, and they will tow your shit if you park there. So there's no parking, no parking at all. It's a great question. Yeah, if you're close to the links, I would do that. You could also, I mean, you may want to consider us a ride share, Uber, Lyft, if because you're gonna have to pay for parking. Um, that's a very interesting. That's something I didn't think about that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Johnson and Wells has a parking lot, but I'm sure they're gonna have stuff going on. They have a very small parking lot that I'm looking at, but uh-uh. I think your best bet is gonna be the Mint Street parking deck right across from Make America Stadium. That's gonna be the best bet um, for parking. Great question, though. Great question. All right. With that said, man, I'm gonna get up out of here. If I hopefully I address all y'all questions. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell, get in the comments, all that good stuff, man. We're trying. We got to get to 23,000. Help it. We're like 13 subs away from 23,000. So hit that or 22,300. My bad. 22,300. 13 subs away. So hit that sub button. I'll holler at y'all on the other side. See y'all on Tuesday when Dave and I reunite again on Tuesday. Yeah, man, have fun. Be safe out there. Have a safe weekend. It's hot. If you in the Carolinas, it's really hot outside. Make sure y'all stay hydrated. All that good stuff. But I'll holler at y'all, man. Yes, I will let y'all know. If I hear anything about VIP, I'll let y'all know. But I haven't heard anything right now. So keep your ears to the streets. Stay off of Tuckasegee, those streets. Stay on the main street. Stay on 77 Independence Tryon. When you listen to get your tea, all right? Stay on the streets. Listen to those streets, all right? We'll holler at y'all. I'm out. Peace.